He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I tucked my chain and I said, oh, snap.
Because there's a lot of people out here that think just because people are flashing money means that they have money. It's so backwards.
Davis reacts to allegations of Floyd Mayweather being held hostage in Dubai. Tank says he got to pay people that money back. That's coming from, Floyd Mayweather's protege, his former right-hand man, Gervonta.
Dave Chappelle didn't hold back when talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial controversies, pointing out the irony between his flashy lifestyle and reports of unpaid obligations. It's true that the Internal Revenue Service previously filed tax liens against Mayweather. Reported figures included over $22 million tied to 2015 and around $7.2 million from 2010. Situations like this aren't uncommon for high-earning athletes, especially when income streams are complex, but they still raise eyebrows given Floyd's public image of endless wealth. Chappelle's commentary really taps into that contrast. The gap between what people see, luxury cars, cash, and confidence, and the behind-the-scenes financial responsibilities that don't always make headlines.
With sell-off property, you have the ability to liquidate some of your assets. You have the ability to go and get a loan to pay off this tax liability. So we're not buying it. So we'll see if this petition does get approved. It's Floyd Mayweather. It probably will get approved. Seeing as how the event that's going to happen in about 60 days is going to generate more than enough money to pay off that tax liability. So it's great reassurance for the IRS. And this is not the first time that Floyd's been in trouble with the IRS. Back in 2008, he had a $6.17 million lien on his property for taxes that he owed in 2007. Right? And this is just a recurring thing. He's had many other instances. Back in 2011, apparently he owed $3.4 million in taxes that were incurred in 2009.
Dave Chappelle, known for his sharp and often unfiltered humor, took a jab at Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial decisions, suggesting that Floyd's judgment might not always be the strongest when it comes to managing money coming from Chapelle. The comment carries that mix of humor and underlying critique. It plays into a broader narrative that's been building around Mayweather. Incredible earning power, but constant questions about how that money is handled. Whether it's fair criticism or just comedic exaggeration, it highlights how even outside the sports world, Floyd's financial choices have become part of his public identity.
Mayweather should jump into the UFC.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about money-wise or where he's at in his life. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not really I don't know anything about UFC.
You're not. Do you think you should kind of stay in his lane, or do you think, maybe to capitalize on the success of the McGregor fight?
I think Floyd made a clean getaway. I think he had a great record and the greatest run in the history of boxing. I don't know whatever makes him happy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he did his thing, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you.
You
Sorry
make me
about
happy.
that. Yeah, my man, thank you so much.
Yeah,
bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently claimed he purchased a $42 million portfolio of 62 rental buildings in Manhattan, presenting it as a major real estate move. However, reports pointing to New York City Department of Finance records showing no clear change in ownership have raised questions. On top of that, his company, Vita Properties, hasn't publicly clarified the structure of the deal. Because of this, some observers believe the situation may be more nuanced, possibly involving partial ownership, investment stakes, or future purchase options rather than full control of the properties. At the moment, it's another example of the mixed narrative surrounding Mayweather. Bold claims on one side, and unanswered questions on the other.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings, all belong to me.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s claim that he purchased 62 apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan for $42 million has definitely raised eyebrows. According to reports from Business Insider, property records don't clearly support full ownership, leading to speculation that the deal may involve only a minority stake rather than outright control of the buildings. That distinction matters a lot. Owning a portfolio outright versus holding a partial investment are very different things, but in public messaging, those lines can sometimes get blurred. So once again, it comes down to competing narratives, Floyd presenting it as a major solo acquisition, while external reports suggest a more complex and possibly less dominant position in the deal.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, we all know him, the tremendous, talented boxer, but people don't realize how smart he is in business, especially real estate. He just did a blockbuster deal, forget about it. Upper Manhattan, 1,000 units consisting of 60 buildings, affordable housing, $402 million purchase price. The seller, Black Spruce Management. This is going to be a monster, huge deal. Already a very big portion of it already closed. The remaining portion should be closing the beginning of 2025. This is a guy who believes in long-term wealth, generational wealth. He's heavily involved in skyscrapers. Now he's getting very, very big in affordable housing in Upper Manhattan. Tremendous deal. $402 million. Once again, 1,000 units, 60 buildings. Forget about it, Maron. That's what I'm talking about. That's smart. That's generational wealth, in my opinion. Not financial advice, not a financial planner, but very, very impressed. Floyd Mayweather Jr., not too shabby. V for victory.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s claim that he purchased 62 apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan for $42 million has definitely raised eyebrows, according to reports from Business Insider. Property records don't clearly support full ownership, leading to speculation that the deal may involve only a minority stake rather than outright control of the buildings. That distinction matters a lot. Owning a portfolio outright versus holding a partial investment are very different things. But in public messaging, those lines can sometimes get blurred. So once again, it comes down to competing narratives, Floyd presenting it as a major solo acquisition, while external reports suggest a more complex and possibly less dominant position in the deal.
Now, this comes amid, rumors of Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owes people money. And, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers versus Mavericks game. But before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures. There is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help. So he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks.
Dave Chappelle framed Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s situation with that signature mix of humor and truth. His point wasn't just about money. It was about attention. When Floyd was at the peak of flaunting his wealth, cars, cash, lifestyle, it pulled everyone in. Success on that level doesn't just attract fans. It attracts investors, opportunists, critics, basically anyone with an interest. And Mayweather didn't keep things private. He made his wealth a public spectacle now. As questions and controversies surface, Chapelle highlights the irony. The same audience that once admired the display is now just as invested, but with a different lens. Instead of applause, it's scrutiny. It's a sharp observation. When you build your image in public, you don't just control the spotlight. You also inherit whatever comes with it when the narrative shifts.
I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay. When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, they're trying to kill me.
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around a time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No.
No.
Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress because, when you're a guy that generates money, people have a vested interest in control.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has definitely built a public image around wealth, flashy cars, stacks of cash, luxury everything. That money persona is a huge part of his brand. But the narrative you're describing leans heavily on claims and rumors that aren't fully verified. Stories like being stuck in Dubai over unpaid debts have circulated online, but there's no solid, confirmed evidence backing that specific scenario. Their have been real financial headlines, like past tax issues or disputes tied to business ventures, but that's very different from saying he's broke or running from consequences. With someone like Mayweather, the truth usually sits somewhere in the middle. Massive earnings, complex finances, and a public image that's amplified for attention. So it's fair to question the gap between image and reality. But it's just as important to separate confirmed facts from viral narratives that can get exaggerated fast.
It's a bunch of gambling debts. Floyd, okay? And he tried to plant fake news out here saying that he was in downtown LA giving out money, and then he was at the, the basketball game. This is Floyd in Dubai. Yeah. Uh-huh. Because there's a lot of people out here that think just because people are flashing money means that they have money. It's so backwards. You just don't understand how backwards it is, okay? Because when you earn it, like I said, you don't want nobody to know you got it. But here's the thing, if Floyd had money, don't you think the money would have already been transferred there? If Floyd had money, don't you think the money would have already been transferred there?
I get why that story raises eyebrows. It sounds like a clue-cut case, but it's a bit more complicated than that. 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather Jr. have had a very public fallout over the years, and accusations like the $2 million claim are part of that back and forth. 50 Cent did say he felt cheated after helping promote Floyd's business while he was incarcerated, but Floyd has never confirmed that version of events. The key thing here is that this situation was never formally proven or settled in a clear, public legal outcome. So it sits more in the realm of personal dispute than verified financial misconduct. As for your point, if Floyd had money, wouldn't it already be transferred? Real-world finances at that level aren't always instant or straightforward. Payments tied to businesses, promotions, or partnerships can get delayed due to contracts, disagreements, or how deals are structured, not just because someone doesn't have money. That said, when multiple stories like this stack up, Logan Paul, 50 Cent, business disputes, it naturally creates a pattern in the public eye even if each case has its own side of the story. And with someone like Mayweather, whose entire brand is built on wealth, any financial controversy hits twice as hard.
I brought him over while Floyd was, still incarcerated. Yeah. Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying him the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, "Yo, when you gonna give me the money?"
Because you had already invested,
right? Like when you gonna give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I got to ask you for it?
Right.
And then
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual, the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he tell me to do that.
Joe Rogan has shared that take about Floyd Mayweather Jr. that a big part of Floyd's fame came from people wanting to see him lose not just from appreciating his skill. It's a sharp contrast he draws with Mike Tyson, who was often admired for his raw power and dominance, and honestly, there's some truth to that dynamic. Mayweather leaned into the villain role, flashy, arrogant, always talking money, and that made people emotionally invested. Fans tuned in either to watch greatness or to finally see him get humbled. Either way, they watched out. That's what made him such a massive draw. Love him or hate him, he mastered attention. His unbeaten record, defensive brilliance, and business savvy built the foundation. But the persona amplified everything. So in a way, Rogan's point highlights something deeper. Floyd didn't just win fights. He understood how to turn emotion even negativity, into money, fame, and long-term relevance.
It is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has often made bold claims about his income, like earning $3 million per month, and he even compared his financial success to figures such as Bill Gates. Statements like that definitely grab attention, but they are also where skepticism kicks in. Experts point out that boxing income doesn't usually work as steady monthly cash flow. It's more event-based, huge paydays from fights, followed by quieter periods. So while Floyd has undeniably earned massive sums over his career, framing it as consistent monthly income can be misleading or oversimplified. Add in his ultra-luxurious lifestyle, private jets, cars, jewelry, and it naturally raises questions about how sustainable that level of spending is over time. At the end of the day, this is what makes Mayweather such a fascinating figure. Massive proven success, combined with bold claims and a carefully crafted image that keeps people guessing about what's real and what's part of the persona.
Whole persona is money, 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 and you don't get paid. Well, that's exactly what it is for employees of Floyd Mayweather. Employees of his Los Angeles gym accused Floyd Mayweather of bankruptcy after failing to pay them. I mean, he's still buying stuff. Portfolio valued at $10 billion, including 18 office buildings spanning. I mean, he can do all this, but he can't pay his employees' salaries. $10 billion portfolio, 18 office buildings spanning 10 million square feet. Like what? Another deal he finalized with a 20 million property in Manhattan. Financial troubles. Despite these high-profile purchases, allegations of unpaid wages at Mayweather's Los Angeles gym have sparked significant backlash. Employees claim that they haven't received paychecks, prompting a public protest outside the facility on Highland Avenue. One protester held a sign accusing Mayweather of modern-day slavery, while another noted that the money team has no money. Even if you work for a different company and if you ain't getting paid, you're scared to show up and say something because you know how businesses do. They silence you and they fire you. The employees alleged violations of California Labor Code 210, which mandates penalties for late wages. First-time violations can include fines between $100 to $200 and unpaid wages beyond the 30 days entitled work to a full day pay for every day delayed. That is crazy. Money team ain't got no money. Apparently it's not the first time too. They had one in Elk Grove and it closed down because the landlord sued for a non-payment of $30,000 in rent. Now the LA gym facing closure. Employees are questioning whether Mayweather himself is.
De La Hoya has openly claimed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. keeps doing exhibition fights because he still needs money. He argues that if Floyd was truly financially secure, there would be no reason to keep returning for these high-paying, low-risk events. However, others say it's not about necessity. It's just smart business. Easy fights, big money, and constant attention.
Canelo once again at 160, okay, 100 pounds, 160 pounds, call out Canelo and do the rematch, and that's it.
You think he's talking this trash because he wants a rematch? You think he actually wants?
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
once
broke?
Again? Come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can't spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
You can't.
I doubt he'll ever step into that ring. Floyd's a big freaking.
He called Canelo the easiest win of his career.
Yeah, because he was 21 years old.
Right.
Of course. If I fought Ryan Garcia, who's 19 years old, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna beat him easy because of my experience.
So fight him in his prime, he goes down. You see?
Easy.
What's your message to Floyd?
Floyd, stay under your rock, dude.
You think Canelo's gonna out-earn him eventually? You think he'll make more money than Floyd?
By far. Canelo's 28 years old.
Right.
And he's already made, what, $500 million?
Right.
Easy.
Hey, you're the man, Golden Boy.
Before adopting the Money Mayweather persona,
Floyd Mayweather Jr. was reportedly already under serious financial pressure during that period, with some claims suggesting issues related to unpaid taxes. At the time, it was also reported that he secured a $2 million loan to help settle outstanding debts and avoid potential legal consequences. These stories have contributed to a public perception that, despite his massive earnings, Floyd's financial behavior can sometimes lean towards short-term fixes rather than long-term stability.
50, aka Ferrari F50. So 50's obviously going to take any chance that he can to troll Floyd Mayweather. And I don't know how accurate or true this is. 50 said it was true and then removed it off his Instagram like he sometimes does. He'll chime in on things and then remove it. But luckily for me, I know that he does that, so I screenshot everything that he posts. Just because, he'll remove it and then it's hard to find it. I'm like, damn, it was up there. So just for like podcasts and just research purposes, I always screenshot them, have it on my phone. That way, if it's removed, it's like, hey, he did post this. So what am I talking about? Let's go over this. 50 Cent has weighed in on a shocking claim in the ongoing spat between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis, saying he believes a belief that has allowed him to get in some digs.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is well known for showcasing his wealth online, luxury cars, watches, and an overall high-end lifestyle that reinforces his money image. While some see it as a celebration of success, others question how sustainable that level of spending and visibility really is over time. Floyd has also spoken about his approach to business, saying he's willing to take high-risk investments and preface opportunities that others don't fully understand, viewing that as a way to innovate and stay ahead.
Floyd, you seem really comfortable talking about money. A lot of people in the UK are not. So what are your beliefs around money?
Just because I talk about money doesn't make me a bad person. I mean, I like to have the finer things in life. Money don't make me, I make money. I like to feed my family. We can't feed our family just saying I love you. Money is able to put us in a position so we can have the finer things in life. So we are able to travel over to the UK and experience and do different things. We're able to travel to Dubai and other countries and have fun and live life and experience different things. So when you're able to make a lot of money, you're able to do those certain things. And for those people that don't have any money, because life is all about having different experiences. And with me being able to make a lot of money, I'm able to bring my team as well as my family around the world so they can experience different things.
Something you said earlier, Floyd, it really fascinated me. And it gave me an insight that you really learned about money. Is you said in real estate, you got to know what to do on a small scale first.
Yes.
And then you went big. And is that because you don't want to take massive risk because you want to be smart with your money?
Well, you don't go out there and work extremely hard for so many years and then take every dime you got and just put it into something that you don't know about.
Well, a lot of people do, don't they? I mean,
and a majority of the time you get bad results. 90% of the time you get bad results.
F. Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and former trainer, has reportedly expressed confusion about his nephew's financial decisions. He suggested that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s approach to buying buildings and investing in different ventures can appear disorganized or inconsistent. From Jeff's perspective, the pattern doesn't always look structured, which has fueled further discussion among fans and analysts about how Floyd manages his business empire outside the ring.
idea. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things, and so I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has long emphasized being his own boss, negotiating deals himself and managing his finances without relying heavily on outside advisors. While that independence served him extremely well during his boxing career, critics argue it hasn't always translated smoothly into long-term business success. Despite being aware of the risks, Floyd continues to spend at a very high level, even as other fighters with similar earnings histories have eventually gone broke. This has led some observers to question whether his approach to money management is sustainable over time, especially outside the structure of professional boxing.
Show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, you know, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys.
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drive.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has continued to stay active after retirement through exhibition bouts, even though they are no longer tied to championships or rankings. These events still generate significant paydays and global attention, keeping him in the spotlight. A potential rematch with Conor McGregor is often mentioned as the kind of event that could deliver an even bigger financial surge due to massive public interest. Critics argue this pattern shows a continued drive for money and visibility, while supporters see it as smart business, capitalizing on name value long after his competitive prime has ended.
What would be the value in seeing it a second time? The first one wasn't bad, but the whole thing was this notion of suspense and unpredictability, and what would it be? Well, you got to see what it was. He got marched down and beaten up.
Yeah, it seems like Floyd might realize within himself that that's the last giant money fight he can make. It would have to be as close to a real fight as possible. I mean, it's a Conor who can still throw his hands, although to your point, the brand is damaged, and you know he needs a win badly in the UFC to revive that. But I wonder if Floyd at 45 is saying to himself, if I've got to fight one more time, a real fight, and that Logan fight was weird, and Floyd, I think, didn't expect to have to navigate it the way he did. I wonder if Floyd thinks this is it, but even that could be a trap fight for him, Luke, because of his age. You never know, okay? But to your point, it's hard to get amped up for it unless one or both of them is sort of riding a certain level of momentum.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more.